People know that follow the channel my love for the MX5, especially the early Mark 1, Mark 2. But in the mid-90s, there was a direct rival. Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive from the Rover Group, the MGF. And this week we have the very car with Richard, the owner, that's been kind enough to come up. And today, that's what we're going to review. I can't wait. Welcome everyone to this week's Fast and Fun. So Richard, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
The MGF, best colour, British Racing Green, is it?
I think so, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it.
How long have you owned it?
Just over 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, brought it in Ascot Week. Very interesting journey on the train with a lot of people in top hats.
Right, excellent. And what made you want one? What was the draw?
I suppose it's a little bit of nostalgia. One of the first cars I had was an MGB GT.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, oh, quite fancy having an MG again.
Yeah.
And these were good value. Found myself looking at them on the internet.
Yeah.
A relative of mine actually gave me one that turned out to be such a basket case it was unsavable. But once that planted the idea,
yeah, that was it.
That's what sort of really started it off. So trawling the internet, came across this.
So for people, the MGF came out in 1995, part of the MG Group, owned by BMW at the time, for the first 5 years up until 2000. So the first generations, that's before they moved on to the MG Group as well, and then the MG TF came out. But this one, the original MGF, mid to late 90s, absolutely direct rival to the MX5 Mark 1 and Mark 2, which came out in 98, I think it was. So powered by a 1.8 four-cylinder, mid-engined and rear-wheel drive as well.
That's
so
it.
A real good comparator to the Mark 1 MX5, delivering
143 brake horsepower. This one is a variable valve control VVC model.
two versions.
Yeah, the other model, I think 115, 16 brake horsepower, something like that. And that's just a normal 16 valve twin overhead cam.
Yeah, and all 5-speed manual.
All 5-speed manual, yeah.
So Richard, did you specifically want a VVC then, with the higher power, or was it best car at the time?
That was really it. Best car at the time. I would have accepted either. And in fact, I don't think they even mentioned it was a VVC in the advert for this.
Was it
I
private,
knew it was because
private
of the
or
wheels,
trailed?
But it was a private advert, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And the alloys give it away then, do they?
They do, yes. These the VVC has these. There's a slightly different design on the ordinary one, but these have got they're all 15-inch wheels. So
yes. Yes, yeah, and they do again. That the silver with the British Racing Green does make it look stand out, and it is an iconic car for me from the 90s, and offer stupendous value.
They do nowadays. Yes, they are very cheap.
I know.
And I mean, there are reasons for them being cheap.
Head gasket.
Yes, you couldn't. Your comment channel would be absolutely full of outrage if we didn't mention head gaskets.
So come on, tell me then, is it an issue? Is it a problem? And have you suffered anything?
Yes, and yes.
So go on then, Richard. Tell me, first of all, about this car then. So,
well, I bought this car. It had 2 owners.
Okay, so really low mileage.
Yes.
Really low owners.
Yeah. The second owner, from whom I bought it, had garaged it all of the time, and he'd had it from a very young age. I think it was only a year, 18 months old when he had it.
Wow.
Obviously looked after it. It didn't show any signs of any head gasket failure or anything. The only problem I had on the test drive was it squirmed a little bit, and that was to do with a rear suspension
something worn on it.
That was a bit worn, but no problem.
Yeah.
I drove it around for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Always with one eye on the temperature gauge, as MGF owners will know. And one day I just noticed it drifting up above normal, and I thought, this is it. And luckily, I didn't overheat it. I recognised the problem straight away.
Switched off.
Pulled in, switched off. I managed to limp it home with a top-up of coolant, but the oil was sludgy brown. There was no doubt that that's what had happened.
So this was only in your early few months then of ownership?
Yeah, I'd done less than 1,000 miles in it, 800 miles. You know, I'm confident that the person I bought it from was not aware that there was a problem.
Yeah.
But
so just give me indicative costs for that. Well, just how much is a head gasket for one of these? Because obviously access is the issue here. I look at my MX5, I open the bonnet and I can see all around the engine. There's just space everywhere. This is just...
It is a bit of a nightmare, yes. You don't have to take the hood off. It's easier if you do.
Yeah.
But yes, the engine is
buried
underneath
under
there. There's limited access at the back of the trunk there. But it is difficult to do. It's awkward. There's lots of experts. There's even mobile people who will do it for you in an afternoon. Cost is all down to whether you've overheated it, whether the head needs to be skimmed. Some people say it really must.
Yeah.
The cylinders have got liners. If those have dropped down, that could be the problem or an additional problem. I did have the head skimmed.
Yeah.
We did it absolutely meticulously. The garage, I was lucky my local garage knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Generally, if you're looking at a very straightforward job, you might get a head gasket done on an ordinary 16 valve. I would reckon £500-600, something like that.
Okay.
But this is a VVC, so it costs a little bit more.
Yeah.
We had the head skimmed, and why would you, with Axis being what it is, not bother to do the cam belt and water pump at the same time?
So that's it. So that's where it all.
So
you got a lot done.
On paper, it's a £650 job.
Yeah.
In reality, it's a £1,100 job.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. Okay. And because obviously I know you're quite an active member of the group, the forums for MGF. There's no myths. This is absolutely genuine. Head gasket problems. Is this the number one issue? Because that's what, as a non-MGF person, that's what I know.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Again, your comment section will probably show this up. For every one person that says they haven't ever had a problem, there will be hundreds who say they have.
Right, okay.
You could get lucky and you might drive these around for years and not have a problem.
Yeah.
But in reality, my experience is, I mean, look at this. After 1,000 miles, had a head gasket failure.
And the problem with this, you see, is when cars become so, I'm not going to say cheap, because that's a derogatory term, affordable.
Yes.
If this was a £10,000-15,000 car and it's £1,000, it's a relatively small percentage of the car's value.
Yes.
When cars are down at £1,500-2,000, you've just spent 50% of the car's value.
You have, and you've got to love it. You have got to do it for the love, because the reality was I could go out and buy another one for less than I spent having it repaired.
But then that one could go.
Exactly.
That one could go. This one, at least you've got peace of mind for a period of time.
Exactly. And I decided to go ahead and do it. While I was waiting for it to be done, I had a unfortunate vandalism incident, which resulted in a £750 paint job. So the actual total that I've spent to get the car here as you see it today is, the thick end of £4,000.
Wow.
But, that's not the car's fault.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Right, that's the love. That's what love of cars does to you.
Love or lunacy.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is take a quick walk around the car and then take it out on some of our favourite roads. So we start at the front of the car. So 98, so this is a R98 plate.
That's it.
And Richard, this is completely original, OEM standard?
It is, yes, no modifications, even down to the, still got the original cassette player in it.
And are most modified or not? Do you know?
I would say the majority of the ones I see have had some sort of modification.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parts second hand, you see a lot of them originally had cloth or part leather seats, and they tend to wear, and the door cards wear. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff that you can buy and second hand bits off other models. So very few, I would say, get to a ripe old age without having some sort of modification. Even if it's just a cosmetic thing.
Yes. And at the front then, so they run on 15-inch alloys, front and rear, but the front's slightly narrower tyres, 185s.
That's right, yeah, 185s on the front, 205s on the back. I mean, these 15-inch wheels, as I say, both of the early wheel styles were 15-inch. There is some special editions, like the Abingdon model that's got a 16-inch wheel, which is a very nice wheel.
Yeah. Okay. And this is, what's this? Is this engine
air
cooling?
Intake,
air
for
intake.
the engine bay, yeah.
A little bit flimsy there. That's,
it is, yeah.
That's MG build quality in the 90s.
That's it. You do sort of, if something comes off in your hand, you're not altogether surprised.
Petrol cap, nice and funky petrol cap there, we like. I take it these vents at the top, Richard, these are, I can feel...
engine bay cooling, yeah, you can feel some warmth coming out of there now.
Absolutely, so that's just engine bay cooling there. Then we'll look at the back. Twin exhaust on this.
Yes, sorry about my tatty exhausts.
The little bit of, well, on the camera might not show it up, a little bit of rust on the exhaust there. Can we have a quick look under the...
yeah, certainly.
The
boot's actually quite a decent size, I think, for a car of its overall size.
Yeah, so we'll shoot to where this is empty, but it is actually a really deep boot. And the engine is tucked right in there.
That's it. That's the sort of, if you like, daily maintenance access to it.
So oil levels and things are all under here, are they?
That's right, yes. The dipstick's under the flap there.
Yeah, okay.
Filler is obviously separate.
So I take this flap for the oil and coolant access is a well-used flap then in MGF owners' manuals.
Yes. Some cars, and I don't know why, don't have these flaps. They just have the grille. But yes, before and after I drive it, I always check the coolant.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Is that something?
Not so much the oil, but certainly the coolant, yeah.
And you talked around the boot release.
Yeah, the boot, I suppose we'd call it the bonnet release, wouldn't we? But it's here. There's a little handle and you pull it to open the front.
So that's the only way to open the front?
It is.
And the rear here?
The rear is only able to be opened with the key. So
don't leave your key in the boot?
Absolutely not. A real trial. If you do it, the way to get in is very difficult. I mean, I've heard stories of people drilling through the back lights to get into the boot, levering the boot lid open. Why did
Rover not come up with some sort of release from inside the cabin?
Well, yeah. Well, the MX5 has got one, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
In the lockable
centre
console,
lockables. Yeah, that's right.
Which I use all the time.
Yes.
Because
Richard's also got an MX5, I have to say as well, so he's the perfect person to do the comparator, really.
And you can get into there, and of course that's lockable. That's the kind of, I guess, the security.
Yeah.
This is more secure, but if you make a mistake and you do shut your keys in there,
you only ever do it once,
though. For that,
and you only ever do it once.
Yeah, it will be very difficult. So you do tend to find that MGF owners have got a kind of a nervous tick when they shut the boot, going, "Have I got the keys? Have I got the keys?" So.
Just quickly, we'll have a look better when we take the car out, but just in here, just want to pick out this again, matching green leather seats, and this is done, I mean, the look, beautiful, and this is only done 40-something thousand miles?
Yeah, just over 40, is it? Wow. 42,000.
So really low mileage for what is now a 27-year car.
Yes.
Wow. Right, we'll have a look more inside when we drive, and let's just have a quick look under the bonnet. There's I don't think a lot to see in here. Just the spare wheel.
Just the spare wheel.
Yeah.
It came with a steel wheel, but nowadays you can find the alloys to make up a full set of alloys if you want to.
Okay, cool. Right.
And, this car has got ABS as well.
Okay.
Which
so
some
did they
of them
not?
don't
Did they not
have.
all come as standard then?
No.
Wow.
No. And even some later, my later TF model didn't have ABS.
Wow.
And that's 2002.
2000. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Glad this one has. We'll shut the bonnet, start the car, and we'll go off and find some good roads.